Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Raising Noire Twins and Business Friends podcast. Today I have with me Miss Alicia, okay? And to be honest, we've never met in person, but I've known about her work and what she does as a yoga instructor and the business that she has for maybe, I guess, a couple years. Since during COVID, a friend of mine told me about it. And I've been trying to get there. And so I'm so glad that she's here today to really talk about what she does. And thank you so much for being here with us today. Welcome to the show, Alicia.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay.
Yeah. And we have like friends in common, not just New Echo, like other friends, like people that we know.
I didn't know that.
Latia. I saw that she had commented on one of your posts on Instagram and stuff. And I was just and I have seen like other posts of yours on other people's.
Yeah.
So we have people in circles, but our circles have never really.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. But you know what, Nunu, she be bringing people together though.
She really, that is a conduit for sure.
Yes, for sure.
For sure.
Like, yeah, you to connect.
She really
you to connect for real.
Yeah, and one of the best people I know.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yes. And I had the pleasure of like growing up with her and like knowing her. So it's like, this ain't even just her as an adult. Like, this is just how she been. You know what I mean? So shout out to Nunu.
Yes.
Can we do that?
Yes, that's for you, friend.
Yes. And so, okay, enough about Nunu, because we can talk about her all day, because she's a bomb.com.
Yes.
But Miss Alicia here, okay, we just going to jump into the wine down in the vineyard, because I feel like that's just the hot topic right now.
Okay.
I feel like,
let's do that.
How did this come about? All of the above. Tell us what can we expect when we get there and all of that good stuff.
Okay. So Wine Down in the Vineyard is actually my idea. But a lady at the winery that I work at a winery part-time, had mentioned to me that she was like, hey, they used to have yoga classes here in the summertime. And I said, oh yeah, I had been talking to our tasting room manager about doing another one. I just hadn't had a chance to, really plan it out. And she's like, oh yeah, well, I got the yoga person's number. And I was like, well, I'm the yoga person.
Right.
And she was like, oh, really? And I said, yeah. And so, we talked a little bit more about it. And so then I went back to my tasting room manager. Her name is Kayleen, and I said, hey, like a customer had mentioned this to me, and we had talked about it, so I think we should do it. Like, let's schedule the wine down in the vineyard.
Yes.
And she was like, I love that name. And it reminded me of like, did you ever used to do wine down Wednesdays with your friends?
Girl,
yes.
We?
Yes.
So we can wind it down every day.
So exactly right, wine down.
Right.
Cheers. So I figured that it would be a really good opportunity to bring people, my two loves, yoga and wine, together in an amazing setting at a place where I work, and they were down for it.
Nice.
So yeah, that's where Wine Down in the Vineyard came from. It's going to be probably, it'll be a all levels class. So healthy mix of, beginners and maybe even some veteran yoga practitioners. Yeah. But not too hard, because it's we're winding down in the vineyard, right? So we're not gonna break a sweat.
Right.
We're gonna just really focus on centering ourselves, coming into our bodies, embracing the surrounding, right? And then we're gonna toast to the good life afterwards.
I love it. And so, what's the name of the winery that it's gonna be at?
It's at Klinker Brick Winery in Lodi.
Okay.
Shout out to Klinker Brick, the most awarded winery in Lodi.
Okay, now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And really good wines. They specialize in old vines and Findels. Mm-hmm. And so, you'll have, with your ticket, you get one free glass of wine. And then I'm going to hang out for a little while. So, we can maybe drink together a little bit. Most definitely. Yeah. After we do a little yoga.
Nice.
So, yeah. I'm very excited about this.
Yes, you should be. First of all, when I heard about it, I was just like, wait, what? Wine and yoga? Like, this is my thing. Like, I just love it. I thought it was an amazing idea, and I just think that it's going to be a really, really great event. And so,
from your lips to God's ears.
Yes, come on, guys.
Yes, and you loved it so much, you put together a little ad for us. Yeah.
Because, like I said, if it's something that just resonates with me or something that I feel like it, aligns with what I do or what I like it is what it is. Like, and I think that makes it just more authentic and more genuine too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because this is just something that I'm gonna drink wine regardless. Let me just say that. So you
Yes.
add a little yoga, and I've been trying to get back into, being healthy and, getting my little workout on and stuff. So incorporating that and then being able to mingle with some other people, like-minded people, and just, you never know who you might meet out there kind of thing too, right?
That's so true. You never know who you might meet. And honestly, like I have invited my friends from all my lives here in California, right? There's so many different, not versions of myself, but
I got you.
But you have moments with people.
Yeah.
And so I've invited people from all of my moments to come, and somebody from every moment has accepted the invitation.
Nice.
And so one of the things that I did, which I've never done before, because I was just like, Instagram can help me, sell my business, and I just have to post a lot. And what really, I think, what I didn't know at the time that I figured out this time is that if you ask directly to the person, they're more than likely, they're going to either tell you yes or no, right? Versus just leaving it out there and not knowing it all. Look, hey, world, this is what I'm offering.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Right.
That's what, and
that's true. That's so true.
And so this time I actually reached out and I said, hey, I'm doing this thing. And I sent them the reel that you made, the story that you made. And my friend put this together for me, and I would really love it if you could join us.
Nice.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you. And even the people who could not come said, I would love to be there, but I'm not going to be there. I have, something else going on. And so I didn't have that expectation of seeing that person.
Right.
But then the people who I haven't seen in probably years.
Yeah. Like,
some of them were like, yeah, they're going to come. And right. And I think part of it is to support me and what it is that I'm doing. And I think the other part of it is just, to nurture our friendship. And because it's wine.
Yes.
Come on.
We love some Nino over here. Okay.
Shout out to Klinker Brick again. Yes.
Yeah.
Yoga, it's just about you providing your needs for yourself or not providing anything for yourself in the way of just assessing what it is that you need. Yeah.
And just being in that moment.
Being in that space. Yeah. And so I have this joke where I say that if you're a type A personality, you need to practice yoga more than anybody else. I say that because I am a type A personality. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't have to be a physical practice.
Yeah.
It's the thing that brings you closer to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's really all the universe wants from us.
Okay. I agree.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's all you can really want for yourself. That's how you're going to live your best life and show up as your best self.
Okay. And so with yoga, I know that, and I can't name all of them, but I know there are different styles of yoga. Is that correct?
Well, I can't name all of them either.
Okay. So what style do you practice and do you teach?
Okay. So I am certified in Hatha yoga.
Okay. I've heard of that one.
And there are many things, branches of Hatha yoga. And that's probably not the right word, but there are many other styles that stem from Hatha yoga. So if you go to a vinyasa class, that is rooted in Hatha yoga.
Okay.
If you do restorative yoga, that is rooted in Hatha. If you do yin yoga, and I'm still early on in my yoga studies, so I don't know. Obviously, none of us knows all there is to know about yoga. It's such an ancient practice.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I primarily teach yin yoga, or I'll teach a beginner basics yoga. So yin yoga is where you it's an internal practice. Okay. So you're in yin yoga, you're holding the poses for an extended period of time, anywhere between, 3 to 5 minutes, maybe sometimes longer, depending on your experience level. And you're using your weight, you're using gravity to bring you deeper into the shape. Okay. And then what that does is it releases the deeper tissues.
Yeah.
And so because you're holding a pose for so long, sometimes you can end up feeling a little tender afterwards. So you come out of you go into the pose very, very slowly. You stay into the pose for a really long time. Over time, and the gravity allows you to go deeper into the shape, and then you slowly ease out of whatever shape your body is in. Okay. And that is my preferred practice because, as I said, I'm a type A personality.
Gotcha.
And in this practice, there is nothing for you to do but surrender. Okay.
You can't do nothing else.
And you can do nothing else. I mean, you can grip all you want to, but you're fighting against yourself, right? and you're not really, eventually you'll still get the benefit of the practice, but you're not maximizing the benefit of the practice.
Yeah, I got you.
So if you're a type of person who, clutches things, you clench your teeth, you like hold your tension.
I'm so tense. Yeah.
I'm tense too. Like even like sometimes in your shoulders. And some people might do this, and this sounds really weird, but maybe you like squeeze your butt cheeks and you don't know you're squeezing your.
I do.
It's a thing. It's a thing, right? So people who hold the tension in their body, yin yoga is amazing.
Okay, so I need to be doing yin yoga. I think I've been doing the wrong yoga this whole time.
No. Don't judge yourself, right?
Okay.
There's no wrong yoga or right yoga or wrong yoga, but it's just some of us have different needs.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The day might dictate the need.
You're right. Yeah.
Right. So today, after the day that I've had, I probably would not be able to go into a yin yoga practice.
Okay.
Because the other thing that yin yoga is it's what they call an a closed-eyed meditation. So your eyes are closed. Sometimes the room is dark. You use support so that you're not willing yourself into a shape, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm leaning over into a forward fold, I might have like a bolster on my lap or something that I can rest on. So I can really just surrender myself onto that support and let gravity do the work.
Yeah.
You are not doing the work.
Okay. That's what I need. Yeah. I'll be so tense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I haven't done it in a long time, but I really love it.
Yeah.
I really love it. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So the other practice is hatha basics is it's the traditional yoga shapes.
Okay.
That's your warriors, warrior 1, warrior 2. It can be, all the way from, just a basic little straddle fold to something much more complex but there are practitioners who over time have developed the skill set and the focus and the flexibility to be able to do those practices, and they move gradually through the poses to be able to get into a more complex shape. That's what we're going to do on Sunday.
Okay.
It won't be difficult though. We won't be lifting our legs up there. But yes, we will be working towards a goal. Towards a pose, a specified pose. You guys won't know what the pose is.
Right.
I know
it's going to be a surprise, y'all. I didn't even know I could do this pose.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first time I experienced yoga, I had just moved to Miami. I just started I just became a flight attendant. So another flight attendant, she was like, "Oh, they're having," because they used to have these yoga sessions in the park in Bayside Park. So she was like, let's go check it out, whatever. So I was like, all right, I had nothing to do anyways. And so I go, and like I said, this is my first experience. So in my mind, to me, yoga was just like stretching, right? I was very just stretching. Girl, that next day, I felt like I was hit by a bus. Like, I was just like, and it felt really good to me just because it was like, I was like using, I guess, muscles that I ain't used in I don't know how long, or stretching stuff and moving things, and it felt good like in the moment and stuff. But once if you haven't used your muscles or used different body parts and you start just doing all this extra stuff, the next day you're gonna feel it. So that's what I felt. I was like, why am I so sore? Like we literally was just sitting there like this, like, because it doesn't feel like, to me, it doesn't feel like you're doing so much in the moment, but you really are.
I think that's a common misconception about yoga. Like I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying to me that, and I think this is a person who's never done yoga before a day in their life, but the person said that they felt like Pilates was more of a workout than yoga. And I think that is a common misconception. Yoga can be as intense or as relaxing as you want it to be.
Yes.
And in both instances, the intense practice and the relaxing practice, the focus is to do what? To connect with yourself.
Yes.
Right? So I can be in a warrior 2 pose. My arms can be extended out and I'm reaching my fingertips as far as I can in opposite directions. And at the same time, really tightening my muscles in my arms, right? And in my core and in my legs.
Yeah.
And so what that is doing is fortifying the muscles, right? Lengthening those muscles.
Girl, my muscles was lengthened. Okay. I I was like, what?
And I think there's just this misconception of like, you're not going to get toned if you do yoga.
No,
You're not gonna, and
yeah,
that's not true. You can be long
Mm-hmm.
and you can be lean
Yes.
and you can have amazing posture
Mm-hmm.
and you can have some tone or definition to your muscles.
Yeah.
You can have improved core stability, and maybe you don't break a hard sweat,
Mm-hmm.
but you still have a good practice.
You do.
And
Because I don't even think, I mean, the only reason why I was really sweating is because it's humid out in Miami. It was
Mhm.
outside. But as far as like feeling like I was exerting myself, I didn't feel that,
Mhm.
you know? And so that's why like the next day I was just like, I'm so sore.
Mhm.
But it felt good. Like, cause I grew up being an athlete. And so I love working out. And to me, I'm like, it's always go hard or go home. Like I'm not going to half-ass anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to me, it felt good to be like, oh, okay, I felt like I did something like the next day. So I was like, oh man, maybe I was really stretching my muscles out. Maybe I was really doing
Because
something,
you were,
you know,
because you were, I'm glad that you mentioned that about being an athlete, because I was an athlete too, and I played college volleyball. So, and a lot of times, especially when we were younger, like back then when sports was back then, I'm just gonna say back then.
Right.
There wasn't this concept on or this idea or influence on the social emotional
Mm-hmm.
impact, or this going with the flow, or I don't really know how to. I would describe it as a Phil Jackson-esque approach to right, where
Mhm.
this is mindfulness approach
Yes.
included in the athleticism.
Gotcha.
Okay, it was all just athleticism and talent.
Yeah,
But
for
now
sure,
there's
yeah.
this mindfulness, this focus on mindfulness, and I believe that had I understood that back then when I was playing college sports or even high school sports or middle school sports, that I would have been a much better athlete, and my athletic career probably would have gone further, because what you learn through practicing yoga is that sometimes you get further by surrendering.
Mm-hmm.
You can't always will things to happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the truth of the matter is when you get quiet and when you become still and when you empty your mind, not focus your mind, but empty your mind, the clear pathway manifests itself.
Mm-hmm. Come on now.
Or at least you start to have some clarity.
Yes.
And that no force, right? No actual like exerting force will help.
Yeah.
It's just you need clarity.
Yeah.
On the way to go. And I think that's the benefit of the practice. I have seen this practice improve my life in so many different ways. Even after the day like I had today, I came over here, we're talking about yoga, and I thought to myself, I probably need to do like a little bit of meditation before we practice, or before we talked, right? So that helped. Because I was feeling worked up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be on here.
Worked up in that space.
In that space, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm encouraging people to come, but I'm like fired up. That's not gonna encourage anybody.
But I always like to talk with people before we do a podcast, like, and especially with us, like I haven't really met you in person before. And so I always like to, have a glass of wine, like, what's going on, girl? What's going on? Like, talk to me.
It's a really good idea. And I'm glad that we did, because I think it does help, one, set my mind at ease, but two, like, it helped me to let it go, because I didn't have an opportunity to do that. So tonight when I get home, I'm definitely going to have a practice.
Yes. So what are you going to practice when you get home?
I do whatever the mood, however the spirit moves me is how I move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
so I always start with a sit, like a little, and I don't even I'm not a big meditator, but I do, for a few minutes, I can clear my mind and just focus on my breathing. Like breathing is a big thing that helps me come into clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I'm able to like feel whatever my body needs, and then nourish it.
I love it. I love it, girl. Yeah. As far as the entrepreneur side, going to business, and you do events and retreats. Also, you've done a couple of retreats already.
I've done one.
I'm coordinating.
I've done one. Okay. I'm coordinating another.
Okay, that's what it is.
I definitely do want to make that my business focus, because I do love to travel and I love to share new experiences with people. And I think, like I said, everything. My yoga teacher, she used to have a practice, and it was called a business, and it was called It's All Yoga. So and I truly subscribe to that, right? So like I want to, we can have dinner, go on hikes, go, actually do a yoga practice, maybe do some art or, painting or, something like that kind of helps you to get into a space where you can connect with yourself and, in quietness. And I would like to integrate that into those activities. Yeah. And I've had 2 events here. Well, this is going to be my actual second big event. I did one event with the Sigmas. And we did a what was it called? It was rhythm and soul yoga. And that was at the Robertson Family Community Center. I think it was in February.
Nice.
And that was a really nice turnout. It was a lot of different people, a lot of different age groups. I really want to plan a trip to Mexico. And then I went to Mexico or Costa Rica.
When you first started yoga, did you envision this, like a business of it? Like, the retreats and the events, or did you just get into it because you were just like, you know what, I need to do some type of healing or, become one kind of, I guess, if you will, with yourself?
No, actually, my yoga story is about physical health. So I had a fall in a parking lot and injured my back pretty badly. And prior to that happening, like I was still playing volleyball and, doing all the things that I like to do. Had a fall in a parking lot, and for the better part of a year, I walked hunched over. Like literally, there was a bend in my back, and I was like, I have to do something because I am not. I started gaining weight. I was depressed. Like I recognized that I was just not really myself.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure how I found the studio, but there was a studio down the street, and I started going to the yin yoga classes, and the teacher was amazing. And the room was warm. It wasn't hot, but it was a place where they practice hot yoga, but the room was warm.
Okay.
And after probably about 6 months, I started to feel like a lot better.
Yeah.
And then they had other classes there. So then I gradually got into the other yoga classes.
Yeah.
And then I started practicing Bikram.
Okay.
And that's when I got really in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
And I started to feel like an athlete again.
Yeah.
Because Bikram yoga is more of a
that's the more advanced.
I wouldn't say that it's advanced, but it is definitely a more difficult practice. And the room is heated to 106 plus degrees.
Oh.
There's often high humidity in there. If the room is packed, and they can be packed, like literally where somebody's foot is right here in your face. I didn't appreciate it. It can make it even hotter.
Yeah.
So you're drenched in sweat, and then it's also like there are certain customs in Bikram yoga.
Okay.
Or it's now called hot yoga. But there are certain customs where, maybe you don't take a water break before a certain, or a specified time.
Yeah.
But I got to that place where I could do that practice. And then I got to that place where I could do that practice consistently.
Okay.
Like, 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And so that's what yoga has done for me. It literally healed me from the inside out. My back it wasn't broken because I don't know if they ever did x-rays, but I remember the doctor saying, it was not broken.
Yeah.
But it was severely injured. And it was the only thing I could think of was that I knew could probably get me back healthy. And it worked.
As an athlete, I feel like I need to really get into yoga like that. Like when you said it made you feel like an athlete again, because I know after having my girls, like, after having kids, your body it just ain't the same no more.
It's not the same. Especially a C-section.
I don't expect to get back to pre-baby look, you know what I mean? But I do want to get into like just a nice tone, or you know what I mean? And so I think after this is really going to have me really thinking about like taking it seriously, and like even on my layovers, because sometimes I would do it on my layovers. I would bring my mat with me, and or sometimes I'll just use like one of the towels in the hotel room if I don't have my mat with me. And just do it. And like you said, a lot of times for me, it wasn't even for like the getting in shape and the tone. It was just like I just needed that clarity
or the decompression,
because that's the only time I get without mommy. You know what I mean? And so, but I need to really start focusing on doing that again. And yeah, when you said like it made you at least feel like you were getting back to your athletic days, yeah,
it was competing with myself. Can I be better today than I was yesterday?
Yeah.
Can I? And the thing is like it changed, especially hot yoga. And I know a lot of people have problems with it. Okay, because there's a little bit of controversy. There's a lot of controversy there. But controversy aside, the practice is great.
Okay.
And it helped me to, you're looking at yourself in a mirror, literally in the class, you're looking at yourself in a mirror and you're not judging yourself.
Yeah.
You are crafting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, it's a slight adjustment. It's a minor tweak.
Yeah.
It's an extension, right, of the neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's those little bitty things to help you get closer to where you want to be.
Yeah.
And that's really how we get better off the mat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's minor adjustments.
It really is. It really is.
You figure out where you need to make an improvement,
so
and you make the minor improvement little by little until you get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that to me, that's the competition element.
Yeah.
In yoga.
How important is it or do you feel like it's important for kids to incorporate yoga in their not daily life? Not saying like they need a routine, like every day do yoga, but for them to experience yoga. Do you think that's something that kids need or no? Or is it healthy for them?
I wouldn't say necessarily that they need yoga in particular, but I would say that a mindfulness practice for children from a very early age is not only great, like it's necessary, especially in this current day and age.
Yeah.
Because these kids are so connected to technology and devices.
Yeah.
More than they are to themselves. And what that means is that maybe they don't really know how to advocate for themselves in an appropriate way. They don't know how to assess their own needs and then take action in an appropriate way because everything is competing for attention.
Yeah.
And they haven't identified that self is the number one attention receiver. You take care of you first.
Yeah, that's real.
Right, with your basic needs. Your food, your water, your shower, like those things, right? And then all the other things that you have are extra.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
And the way that parents can help the kids to understand that is by introducing a mindfulness practice into their lives. Unfortunately, I've learned that too late. My son and I, we do like when things are really, 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 really hectic and we both need a reset, I force the issue.
Yeah.
And we go in the room and we'll sit sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you guys do yoga together.
Or I'll make him, we haven't done it in a while, or I'll be in there practicing and I just make him sit in there with me in the silence.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know he doesn't want to be there. And so the compromise is just lay down and be quiet. You cannot talk.
Yeah.
You don't have to even think about anything, but you have to be in this space in stillness and quiet.
Yeah.
And I need to do that more often with him. I need to force him to do that because, what I know is in those critical moments, that's going to be the thing that helps you from going over the top, going past the point of no return.
Yeah. Being able to know when it's like, okay, I need to reset myself. I need to just be still, because as easy as we say this, right, in this conversation, as easy as it sounds, it's not always that easy.
Hell, adults can't do it.
Like, right.
Grown-ass men cannot do it. And so
it is. I mean, that's real. Like, and it's like, sometimes I'll be knowing like, oh, girl, you just need a break. Like, you just need to chill. But it's like, my mind is like, nah, but you gotta keep going. You gotta keep doing this. All this stuff is on you. But it's like, no, it's really important and imperative to take that moment, take that break, sit in silence. If, even if it's not yoga, sit in silence. Okay. Get that moment of clarity so you can move forward and know and see like, what is this path that I need to go on, or what's my next move, because when it's cloudy and when it's just crazy and chaotic, it's hard to see, and it's hard to follow what path is really for you and what your next move is. So,
and what do they say? Practice the pause.
Yeah.
You just pause, right? You don't do anything and I was telling somebody this the other day, and I truly live by this. When I don't know what to do, I don't do anything. Because if there was a right decision, it wouldn't be so hard to come by.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, truly, you do have to weigh your options, but when you're in distress about what to do, you do nothing.
Yeah.
And I probably over the last 3 years have lived my life that way.
Yeah.
And I would say that mostly it has worked out for me.
Yeah.
Instead of forcing it, right, or ignoring it.
Yeah.
You're acknowledging that there's an issue.
Yeah.
Right? But you're just saying, I know that this thing is here and I know that this thing requires my attention, but until I'm clear about what attention to give it, I'm just gonna accept that it's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Just do nothing.
Just do nothing. And it doesn't mean like be passive.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't mean to be
it's not gonna be a pass to be like lazy.
Yes.
We're not saying that.
We're not saying be lazy. And we're also not saying, what's the word when you put things off?
Procrastination?
And we're not saying to procrastinate.
Yeah.
That's two totally different things, right? Like you clearly are at odds with yourself.
Don't make no big rash decisions.
Yes. You and yourself don't know what to do. Right. So you don't do anything.
Just chill. Yeah. Gotcha.
My time. My time. Yeah. So that's one of the big lessons that I've taken from all this. And that's one of the big lessons that I really want to impart onto my son.
Yeah.
Is that, when you feel those big emotions, or you feel like, gosh, you just so inclined to do something, but you really don't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Or don't know why. That's when you don't.
Yeah. Don't.
Only bad can come from that.
Yeah. And I feel like in this space that I'm in now, I'm learning that. Like, I really am. And I'm really leaning into just trusting what's for me, and the path, and the things that present themselves, or whatever ideas that come to mind. I heard there was an interview that I think it was Kelly Rowland, but she was saying like, no idea is going to come to you. God's not going to give you an idea or anything like that for it to remain dormant. Like, you have to, do something with it, and so, and I've been coming up with like ideas and things like that or whatever. And I've just been kind of going with it. Like, I just felt like I just been trusting the process. Right. But also not veering off and doing too much. That's okay. Like, girl, the path was here. And I'm going, you know what I mean? I'm staying in the lane because, and then it feels like the more that you are in your lane or on your path and in your journey, the more that it's like these opportunities come, and it's like, oh, I didn't even know that was like, I didn't even think that was an option, but since you're here, let's see what this is about. You know what I mean? And so I'm learning to kind of just be still and see what comes my way, if that makes sense.
The flow state.
Okay, so I'm in my flow.
You're in your flow
I'm
state.
in my flow.
You're in your flow state. Yeah, or in alignment with your purpose.
I'm trying. I've been like, look, God, what am I here for?
Yeah, that's amazing, because I think that sometimes, like, I don't think we always have clarity about, what to do or why to do, right? But when you can just move with ease, right? Then I think you're on your path, right? You're in the flow state. You're in alignment. You're fulfilling God's wish for you, if that's what you believe, right? I'm not a super religious person, but I do believe that there's this universal hand that kind of guides what we're doing, and I trust that. Yeah, I fully, but a girl is taking a long time. Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you, I'm very new in this. Okay, so this ain't something where it's like, oh, the past 10 years. No, this is, to be honest, I would say this year, it really just hit me. And this is kind of another thing that Alicia and I connect on too, is that, we both have sisters that have passed, correct? And so my sister passed earlier this year in January. And when I tell you, like, and I've always been like, I know that people can, this is just my own personal belief. Y'all don't believe it, it's all good. But that people do connect with their loved ones. I feel like that's possible, and so now having someone that this is the first time I've lost someone that was so close to me, like literally my day one, like I don't even know what life is like without her, like, and so to have someone that was that close to me, even though like sometimes I'm like, I just want to feel, I can't feel it, but I always ask her to show me a sign. And when I tell you, and just the other day she did it, but there's signs. Every time I ask her, she shows me a sign. And so I always be like I'm good. Like, you know, I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why I say I'm very new in this, like following my path, because I feel like in a sense it's like my sister guiding me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have a direct like connect, you know what I mean, to God, if you will. You know, not saying that I didn't have that relationship before, but I don't know, it's different knowing
now
that
you have an ally.
And now, that's what it is.
Not that she wasn't an ally while she was here, but she's an ally up there. Right?
Yeah. And so I feel like that's helped me to see things a little more clearly too, and my purpose, and just kind of going for what I want, and making that, not making it align, but knowing that that's aligned with my purpose too.
I think that's beautiful, because I feel like there's so many reasons to see the dark or the negative, right? And you're choosing to say, no, this thing happened, and this thing is helping me on my path. Using it as a tool, you know, as a resource instead of a crutch or a reason to not keep going. Right. I think that is super amazing. And I mean, and that's part of the reason why I really wanted to connect with you, because I feel like we have so many different parallels, right? Like in our lives, right? You have twins. I'm a twin. You recently lost your sister. I lost my twin sister. You know, we have friends who are kind of in the circle, but we never really met. And actually, you know, I met Melissa at the R&B rhythm and soul yoga thing, and then I realized that you guys were connected, and I haven't really had an opportunity to connect with her outside of that. But I thought, man, this what a powerful force, right?
Shout out to Melissa.
Shout out,
so dope.
She's like, I mean, it's amazing. And so then I think, well, to your point, like these people come into your life, even if it's just on the periphery of your life, but for a reason. The opportunities, even just this year, that have come to me that I haven't really like forced to happen. I spent months and months and months. I was like, for 6 months, I'm just going to go hard in the paint trying to advertise my business, my yoga business. I didn't gain out of one customer in that time. Save for the people that my friends helped me to recruit to attend events. So being on this podcast, doing the rhythm and soul yoga thing, doing the wine down in the vineyard thing, those things have happened because of people either in my circle or connected to my circle. And so I believe that that's when you know that you're walking in your purpose. When those things happen without you actually having to put a lot of effort into. Now, that does not mean that I get to squander the gift, right? That's not what I'm saying.
We're going to work and improve on the gift too, okay? It's not just going to come to you and just sit there with it.
You have to do some work and appreciation of it. But I will say this. I've had, you know, my yoga teacher, Michelle Marlihan, one of the coolest, most amazing, dopest women you will ever meet, and a savvy business owner.
Oh wow,
and she teaches yoga, and she gave me an opportunity to even teach on her platform, and it was not successful. It just wasn't the right fit, and I had to have a conversation with her where I had to. There were a couple of other things that happened, but I had to say to her, the reality of the situation is right now, I don't think this is working. I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity, for letting me use your platform. And all of the support that you've given me, but I just don't think it's working. And I don't want to keep putting my energy into this. And literally, I think it may have been like right after that, or either right before that, is when I did the Rhythm and Soul yoga event. And then I haven't done yoga for a while. I haven't had an event for 4 months. I just was like, I was tired. I was tired of putting out the effort and people telling me shit like, I want to like yoga, but I don't like it. Like, just, you know, those types of things were happening instead of people signing on to do what I was advertising. And then this opportunity came up. And so it's like, I don't believe that I'm in the wrong place or on the wrong path. It's just a matter of how do you move? Right? And when the opportunities present itself, because people who support you want to see you succeed, believe in you. If you're not ready to go down that path, then you're gonna screw yourself. I don't know where it's gonna lead.
That's the thing. You never know where it's going to go, where it's going to lead or whatever, but just a feeling. And this is something that, even though like with this podcast, people are just now, kind of hearing about me podcasts and stuff, but this is something that started like maybe 5 years ago. It started out as like a YouTube channel, talking to, because I used to live in Mexico. And so I wanted to, really highlight or showcase expats that were living in different countries and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're working on that. Like I
let's
said,
talk about that. Let's talk about that.
That's in the works. That's one of the things where I'm saying like things happen like when you just kind of sit still and you kind of like focus on it, because I just feel like I'm on the brink of something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
So that I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get this really special feeling whenever I see people, like I said, doing this or that in the same lane, and I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like I like this.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm in the wrong thing, but yeah.
And I think you're girl, you're totally in your lane.
Yeah.
You are in your lane. You are in your lane, and I love it. And I love that you. I love that you put it out there, like you help people without expecting anything.
Mm-hmm.
I could have never expected, oh my gosh, I said, hey, can you like share this with your friends? And then you like made a whole new damn post.
Right.
I was so blown away by that, right? So then that's what I was like, to me, it said, this person believes in me enough to spend her time, right, to create this reel.
Yeah.
No, and I know that you don't have a lot of time. You have 2 babies. You're a flight attendant. You're doing this. I know you don't have time. And instead of just saying, yeah, girl, I'm going to come support you, you said, I'm going to support you and I'm going to help see to it that other people can support you also. I've been reading this book. It's called Go Givers, Sell More. Mm-hmm. Go Givers, Sell More. Mm. And it's basically about connecting with the person that you're trying to do business with. And I think you do that.
Okay.
It's something I need to learn to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a go-giver.
Go-giver. You're a go-giver. Yeah. Not a go-getter, but a go-giver. Right? We always think about the hustler, the person who was out there moving and shaking and making deals happen, right? But the person who's successful in that is the one who's taking care of the customer.
I like that. I didn't think about that.
my friend gave me that book. My dance teacher actually gave me that
I'm going to have to look out. Oh,
yeah. Go-givers, sell more.
Go-givers, sell more. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's kind of given me a different perspective. And honestly, full disclosure, I ain't read the whole book.
But you got to the good parts. The part that matters.
But I mean, even the title.
Yeah, alone.
I mean, the title alone really tells you that it's about giving.
Yeah.
And that's really what I want to do with this yoga practice. Mm-hmm. It's not accessible to Black people.
Okay.
Specifically.
Gotcha.
Black people. Because even if we can afford it, some of us might not prioritize the cost of it, right? Like, damn, $85 a month? That feels like a lot of money.
Yeah.
But because the value has not really we've not been included in the value of yoga.
Right.
Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And
Absolutely.
so I think there is certainly a space for us. And I just want to be a helper in that. I want to contribute to the betterment of our community. I want to contribute to the well-being of our community, physical, mental, or otherwise, right? I don't practice yoga as a religion. Mm-hmm. I know for some people that's a thing. It is not a thing for me. Yeah. There is a difference between religion and spirituality, right?
Yes.
And so it does bring me closer to myself. I believe that wholeheartedly, which in turn brings me closer to God, because God is me and I am God. Yeah. Or universe or whatever you want to call it. I believe that. Yeah. But I rarely do I bring that aspect of yoga into my practice. Mm-hmm. I am I guess what some people might call an embodiment practitioner. Like I will describe the sensation in your body and being in your body. But I won't tell you how to feel. Yeah. Right. Maybe help you connect with a body part, and then however it resonates to you is how it resonates with you. Right. Mm-hmm. I think typically when I get into my yoga practice, my voice changes. All right, give us an example of your yoga. What's your yoga voice? Okay. This is a weird question. Close your eyes. Yes, everybody close your eyes. Take a deep breath in your nose. Exhale through your nose. Settle into your seat. Let your shoulders float over your hips. Let your ears settle over your shoulders. Your shoulders fall down your back.
Girl, I'm still cheesing. I
Bring
put
it
my
back
cheeks
here.
on. But I heard the yoga voice.
That's my
though.
yoga voice.
I love it. I love it. It's very calming, though.
It is very
I love
calming,
it.
which is really weird because it's not my normal speaking voice. But I have to go into that state.
Yeah.
That right there is the benefit of the practice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that by helping people to come into a place where they can settle into themselves,
Yeah.
I can settle into myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to be settled into myself more often. So by teaching yoga, I'm able, and not that I can't do it through my own practice, but by teaching it, I am able to connect better with myself.
Mm. So it's them helping you, you helping them. It's an even exchange.
Baby, it's an even exchange.
I love it. I love it.
It's mutually beneficial.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm a better me, you become a better you.
Boom. And that's what it's all about. We just trying to be better.
Yeah, we trying to be better. Yeah.
That's it.
That's exactly what it feels like.
So you know what? I've really been enjoying this conversation.
Me too.
I really have. So, but I don't want to keep your time because I know you were saying I'm busy, but I know you're busy too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna circle back. Let everybody know when Wine Down in the Vineyard is, where all that good stuff, all the deets that we all need to know.
Okay.
And what we need. Do we need to bring anything or?
Yes.
So
okay.
Yeah.
So Wine Down in the Vineyard on this Sunday, July 16th, 10 a.m. at Klinker Brick Winery in Lodi. I don't know the address, but it's off of Alpine Road. It's at 10 o'clock. It's $35 for non-members, $30 for members. Bring your mat, bring your water bottle, bring a towel. I'll bring my soothing voice.
Yes.
Perhaps even some tunes. We'll have some wine after the fact, and just fellowship. So,
nice.
Yeah, it is a tremendous opportunity to get together. I wish I could show you guys a picture of the location. It's a lawn area with vineyards around us. So It's going to be really nice. And we'll be there before the winery actually opens. So It's from 10 to 11. Yeah, it'll just be us. And then at 11, we'll go and finish up and go inside and have some drinks.
Okay.
So
that's a great way to finish up a yoga session.
It's a great way. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. You can sign up at klinkerbrick.com.
And again, how can people, stay connected with you? Just if you have upcoming events or.
But I am at Yoga Trekking Mama, yoga_trekking_mama, because that's what I do.
Okay. Hey.
And I would actually love to hear from anybody who has any questions or comments, or maybe just wants to come and do a practice. I will offer private practices for small groups or individuals.
Okay, nice.
You want to do something at your house with, for your friends, family, let's do it. Reach out to me. Yeah. And then, I definitely am going to be scheduling some retreats. So,
all right.
I'm
well,
really
be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be on the lookout for that because I'm always like, I need to go somewhere.
Girl.
I'm ready for a vacation.
Let's go.
Okay. So, again, this has been really fun. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us because I've learned a lot. I'm, like I said, very new at yoga.
Yeah.
So, anything I would have been like, oh my gosh. But, I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's other people out there that don't really know exactly what yoga is for, even the history that you provided with us today. So thank you again for coming and sharing your expertise with us. And y'all better get y'all tickets and register for Wine Down in the Vineyard because I just feel like this is going to be the bomb.com and you don't want to miss it. So on that note, this has been Raising Noire Twins and Business Friends Podcast. Y'all have a beautiful day, beautiful people. Peace.
Oh, Miles, you want to come say hi real quick?
This is Miles.
Come around. Come all the way around.
You gotta come right here.
Also, I'm here.
This is Miles.
Hi.
So, Miles, what do you think about yoga? Do you like yoga?
No, I don't.
No?
I'm going to be honest. I think it's boring.
Okay. Why do you think it's boring? Because you just gotta sit there?
Yeah, basically.
But you're like stretching your muscles, you're becoming centered.
Miles, you're not doing a very good job of plugging mommy's business. That's not cool.
He said, you know what? I'm gonna be honest.